curls, your stream was a winner. The D's won, 5 zip. So in some ways, it's just business as usual with you dominating a stream. But rare air here, the D's 5-0.
Pretty standard behaviour for me, really, Jack. I am still the undisputed king of any wagering done on a live stream. I'm still not convinced on the D's, to be honest. Like, I think we've beaten nothing. I think Clarkson outcoached Goodwin for 3/4 of the game yesterday. But unfortunately, Clarkson, who's a super coach, he cannot turn a sow's ear into a silk purse. They're terrible, Hawthorn. They're gone. They're a shocking outfit. He just coached well to stop the Demons' run for 3/4, but the cream rose to the top. How many cliches is that? Full credit to the boys. Play. Not convinced. We've got Richmond this week. Like, if we beat Richmond, I'll be moving down to perch up in Pistol's spare room for the whole final series.
You don't want to come down here, down the peninsula in the pod?
He's not a St Kilda fan.
That's right, actually. Yeah, good research, Peter.
Yeah.
No. Very good. You suave gentleman.
Go D's. Yeah.
Well, that's a deep dive. Thanks, and we'll be back next week. Sorry, Caulfield, how did it go? William Pike is still just better than everyone else, no matter where he goes. And if he just follows the cash around the country, surely he can just keep doing the same thing.
Well, on the stream, Gibbo mentioned something about Pike going up there. You two are talking about that. When's that? What's this for?
So, let's wrap a bit of context about this, and let me just get my trumpet out. I did say that we should be taking $1.10 Willie Pike to win the Jockeys Challenge on Saturday.
Did he win it?
Yeah.
We have made 3 winners, so I'm assuming. Gibbo, who does a bit of work with the Gold Coast Turf Club, has got Willie Pike coming up to ride the meeting for the Gold Coast Cup meeting. W. Pike in Queensland.
Queensland.
It'd be unfair.
It's unfair here. Like, he's going that good, William Pike, that he's gotten the McAvoy stable a Saturday winner, which is fucking unheard of, particularly in Victoria, where they train out of. They can go back and pinch him in SA, I'd assume, but they're going awful, and he got one of theirs to win, so he's too good. His ride on Sosie Bond was a thing of like utter perfection and beauty. He showed intent. He rolled along. He improved through each and every 200-metre sectional slightly from the 1,000 home, making it just impossible for anything to catch him, provided he had just enough pony, which he did because there was Sosie Bond. And he only went slow for the class to the 600, so he pinched ground early, built it up through the finish. It was just perfection. It's weird times down here. It's Pike, Carr, Jamie made a couple of mistakes. He made a big mistake, we thought, on Friday night. Probably, I heard people bagging at Bo Rossa ride. I liked it. I think she got it wrong Friday night, but I think she's riding really well all the same. I think her and Pike are two of the most backable riders in Victoria.
But Pike is like a FIFO, is he?
I don't know. But even the Labour rod, he's going that good now that Labour rod ride, he had about 3 lengths to make up, and you kind of, even when you watch the replay, you're like, geez, he's taking his time here. He wins by 2 lengths. He knew what he had. He had his best guess of what they had. Everything was spot on in his mind. He's a freak when right. And the majority of his great rides is when he's settling a little bit closer.
What's something that he is famous for in WA? He'd be on those.
I'm convinced the second time he came to Victoria, he started to show much more intent, and it's just settling 1 or 2 pairs closer has turned him into a freak in Victoria that he already was and is in WA. He missed the start and was slow away. Race 2 Spring Choice. That was like old school Pike. Worse than midfield, back and buried, weaved through, nice run, didn't win in Victoria. But everything else on Saturday, when he showed a bit of intent, was able to show intent because he had enough pony. Very, very hard to beat in a finish.
Yeah, you made mention of Jamie Carr. I thought that ride on Bo Rossa was good just by simple fact that she kept the horse off the fence because no winner basically won settling rails and run.
Yeah, and the bloke bagging up, like, I'm not convinced he's... Yeah. She's almost beaten a horse that was 3 wide worse than midfield cover. So, like, she was entitled to beat that horse. That horse was not entitled to finish off like it did. There was a distinct pattern on Saturday. You didn't want to be too wide. You did not want to be rails and run, and you did not want to be worse than midfield. Yeah, this horse that won that race was wide and worse than midfield. She was in the slot, perfectly placed, beating everything else.
Yeah,
I think the ride was great. She's fucking flying. I just wish everyone get off her back though, trying to put her on a pedestal to be a prime minister as well. She's just a great jockey. Like, no one expects Damien Oliver to do anything. Just ride winners. Should be the same for her.
It'll blow over. They'll find something else to talk about. It'll blow over. There's a mention of Sosie buying horse like Mohamedius, I don't know. And Sosie Bond coming to Queensland.
Well, I'd say Mohamedius is still on the up. It didn't go near its PB. It's got more. It can run faster, but it was the biggest performance of the Punting Form .com.au benchmarks of the entire meeting. Sosie Bond, well, I don't even need to look, but I will, just out of respect to our audience. It's running 9.4 above the all average. This horse is a beast. He can run 15s, I'm pretty certain. A little bit of a lag down here with the internet. I apologise. Anyway, it can run faster than it went on Saturday. They're never going to run huge figures in like 6-horse fields, over a staying trip. Here we go. I've got it up now. There's so much data for this horse. Yeah, it went 11.2 first up this prep, then an 8.5, then a 9.3, and then a 9.4 on Saturday. Yeah, it's got multiple, like, maybe 20 double-figure runs in its career. It's a beast. It's a really strong horse, and it's starting to show a little bit of tactical speed. So
it can get to, like, it can run, like, -12, -13.
And for a horse that was a bit of an enigma, he's now won $1.7 million. He'll probably win $2 million easily, you'd assume. Only 7.
Well, there was talk of maybe a Stradbroke handicap for this horse, which is a 1,400-metre race.
Yeah, right up his alley. Well, I remember maybe one of the first times he was back. I reckon we backed him from the yard, and I remember clicking him once in run at a huge price. It was down the Flemington Straight, and he won. So he's hang on. Yeah, he's won a Group 3 1,200-metre race in Victoria. So that's like a Group 6 in fucking Queensland.
I was going to say Group 1, but yeah.
He goes quick when he wants to.
Obviously, it all depends what comes up here. But he's got the runs on the board to suggest he's got to be competitive, no doubt.
I think, speaking of great rides, Reece McLeod's ride on Dice Roll, which was where he jumped well and put the horse forward of midfield and got the advantage over Pike, who was also in the market there. That was a great ride on Saturday from a guy who doesn't get a lot of opportunity. Really, really strong ride. Balanced that horse up, didn't panic, took his time. Really, really good ride, Reece McLeod. Well done.
Good performance for
Nick Ryan, well done.
For a horse that used to be in Hong Kong, hasn't raced since September 2019.
It had a nice trial with like Targaloa and that at Cranbourne. But yeah, the Nick Ryan stable don't miss often.
Yeah. Speaking of rides with intent, Luke Nolan's ride on Finance Tycoon was absolutely perfect on a fast tempo. Just put it outside the lead and just completely brained that field in the showdown, $1 million race for 2-year-olds.
Oh, just one of those. A lot of my review personally, because it's been a frustrating one, because I had a strip at Caulfield, is about managing these riders. So I still had marked Finance Tycoon shorter than the market come jump. But I just didn't want to be with Luke Nolan at that price. Still in my like tiny little brain at that point of the day. But I factored that into the price, so I should have pulled the trigger a bit.
That's fair. And Arcaded just gave itself up, I think. That horse, we spoke about it on the day. It's just a tiny little thing. Always walks well. Probably won't win another race.
Probably, but it was in the worst ground and she showed no intent. So the horse was in a position in run that no horse was competitive from all day. I think what you're saying is favourite to be right, though.
I was going to say, it doesn't really have any speed anyway, does it? It's always back somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fair. You just got me thinking of something, though. How's this? So, in race number... where is it? In the steward's report, right? This is just peak racing, right? Dutch rudder stuff. In race number 3, Moral Force, trainer Mitchell Freeman was fined $200. Like $200. Does that go to the racing school, by the way, too? The racing school fund, the new school they want. Can you please train our staff so we don't have to fund? For presenting the horse late in the mounting yard. This is a horse that then almost fell when it started, like it literally tripped and was on its knees, then had the shits with that, and then charged through the field. John Allen, big pipe operator, he needed all of them to slow this thing down, not cause an enormous car crash there in race 3. Anyway, why do they fine him $200 for being late to the yard? And if they're going to fine people who are late to the yard, I will volunteer to do it for you on Saturdays. I'll just throw them all under. It should be $2,000. I don't know if Mitch could afford $2,000, but he probably can't, and that's the whole point, because then his horse would be in the yard on time. But if I was Mitchell, I'd be fucking sick here, because the amount of horses that are late to the yard and were late to the yard on Saturday, and that I've checked and not in the stewards report, in the last race, head of the Trainers Association, Robbie Griffiths and De Kock, I did not even see Don't Tell the Boss parade. That's how late it was. I saw Moral Force parade. It was second in the numbers. Don't Tell the Boss didn't parade, to my eye. I would have thrown him in. 2,000 into the train our staff fund. No. Didn't even get a comment in the stewards report. Rules for some, I guess. I don't know. Weird. What do you reckon, Kels?
I don't know. I don't know. Is there any... Trying to think if there's legitimate reasons why you're late. Is there? I don't know.
I think the fine should be huge. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they fined Mitch. I bet you Mitch isn't late for the next yard. But it'd do my head in.
Is this a Saturday only rule? I reckon the number of times have been standing there in the yard at Sandown and a horse has come in 35 minutes late, or it just trickles in half the field's already out on the track.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know why they do it, because then if someone like us talks about it, and say someone talked about an RSN, now they've sort of cornered themselves and they've got to start fining everyone. Because this happens all the time.
200. Is it barely worth doing the paperwork for 200 or what?
Yeah.
Look, at Saturday Metropolitan meeting, they're getting 10,000 just to run 10th nowadays in Victoria, don't they?
Yep. Whatever it is, it's a good amount of money. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it should be 2,000, and maybe they should have to go to the train our staff school and do a what do you call it when you're back at school? Like a topic, like a segment on presenting horses to the yard on time. All I have to do in that class is go, oh fuck, we're on in 5 minutes and start getting ready. That's all I have to do.
Oh dear. You're speaking of race 7 earlier. Talk to me about Ruby Saki.
Oh, she's back.
She ever left?
Yeah, no, she was bad last prep. Well, she wasn't as good as she's been. I think that's fair to say.
Yep.
If you watch the replay, she's held up badly at key stages. Entitled to sort of throw it away, and she didn't. She chase the line real hard. She clocked the fastest last 100 metres inside the race, along with the second fastest last 200 metres of the race is that fucking Enigma liar. I love her, but she just cost me so much cash, this horse. So much. I still can't get over the fucking Flemington performance where we took $5 and she started 220, and it might have been, I'm thinking it was Luke Curry. I better check that. But just never got out. It was fucking brutal. Anyway, Ruby Saki's back.
Yeah, interesting to see how she goes next start. Like, she'll start short because everyone is black booking it.
It was J-Mac who slaughtered her at Flemington. Peter, you're on mute.
I thought...
Sorry, that was J-Mac at Flemington. It was Luke Curry at Caulfield.
She's often slaughtered, or not slaughtered, slaughtered if you're on, because she finds trouble because she gets back worse in midfield and she's often drawn inside.
Yeah. I was going to say the complete opposite, Jack. I was going to say she was entitled to finish the fastest last 200 of the meeting because she did nothing before that.
Ruby Saki?
Yeah.
Well, if...
It's a dirty old fucking Victorian-bred listed race with McAvoy winning it. I want to see it again.
Sword of Mercy goes good. Very good.
Yeah.
We were on. How didn't it win? I just don't think he got the trip somehow, but it looked like it was going to win. I thought Ruby Saki paraded heavy for her. She went like... Okay, here's why I think she's back. Last prep, over 1,200 metres at Caulfield, she went 2.8 below the all average to the 600 and came home 5.6 above the all average.
Yeah.
On Saturday, over 1,100, she went out 2.6 slow and came home 9.2 fast, despite being inconvenienced. So yeah. I think she's going better than last prep. I think she was heavy and can improve. 100% entitled to run a big figure. I reckon she's going to come up to Queensland, and it's just going to be a matter of are they running on and getting out wide that day or not?
Yeah.
And if they are, she'll be winning.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Laverod in the sprint race 8.
Career PB.
Yeah. Slow tempo, monster splits, last 4.
Just shits me though, this thing. Like, I backed it at Flemington and it lost. You know, like now look at it.
Yeah, it arguably should have won its last 4 starts, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least could have won. We'll go with that. Low flying though. Anything else out of that race?
Oh, absolutely. I like just the spectacle of watching an elite rider just own a horse. Like, he knew what he had. He knew exactly what was happening in the race. It was good TV. Inside that race itself, what is that? Race 6.
Race 8.
Oh, what do you think of year-long January?
Can we edit this?
No, just be diplomatic. Save me time.
Well, I think it went absolutely enormous, and I would have liked to keep that to ourselves. I think it was an enormous, but like absolutely enormous run.
I thought you were going to say something bad, but that's all right.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I brought it up because it's the only horse that I put a little asterisk next to out of the meeting.
Yeah, well, I'm with you. I thought Ed and Ruby Saki were the 2 back me next start runners. I don't think there was a lot of intent, or I'm not convinced they were overly trying here with Yearling January. I think it was a really, really good barrier trial.
Yep.
I think there's bigger things ahead for this horse.
Okay.
How romantic you'd be pretty flat about.
It's just been the best, almost the most well-placed horse in the world.
Yeah. Paul's regret, just watch the money. Like they at Henrich, they showed intent, it went enormous. Got done by Pike. Yeah. Yearling January, though, going great. Third fastest last 400, second fastest last 200 of the meeting, only, of the race, only beaten by the winner in Lavarod. It was like for a Vobusy day. It was a great meeting, really, when you look back at the data, and it's interesting to be this interested in it and want to talk about this much after doing my complete nuts on it is rare.
Okay, let's head up to Queensland Curls. Start off with the protest.
Yeah, race 7. There's been enough footage shared on Twitter that we probably don't need to share it on here. Go back and have a look at race 7. The winner, or the first past the post, was Junction, and right on board. The horse that ended up winning the protest was Get Stuck In, who was behind the 2 leaders. The horse just refused to take a gap and was like laying in. And then Junction probably shifted in like a half, and then Get Stuck In she's got to the outside of the 2 leaders. And then once she's got clear outside horses, the horse really sort of knuckled down and wanted to hit the line. So obviously it didn't want to take the run initially. I thought the protest was like rewarded a bad ride on the horse that was second past the post, but you just really never know with these protests up here. I'm sure stewards are completely fucking petrified to adjudicate any protest where there's not a very, very small margin. I think they're walking into protest hearings and seeing a small margin and being more confident in making decisions. And that probably applies everywhere, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, in life.
It's very easy to cop out and say dismissed when the margin was, a half or 3/4 or, a length or something. And it's very easy to say, the margin wasn't great enough. But in these close finishes, invariably seems to go with the horse that's protesting. I thought it was a bad ride on Get Stuck In, and it was completely blessed and very fortunate. Out of a race where, I sort of mentioned to our guys that that I was sort of had Junction on top, but I don't want to be on it. I think it's looking for a mile and is a little bit one-paced, and he just couldn't put him away when he was there too. So he dodged a bullet there, basically. So I'm not talking through my pocket or anything like that. It shouldn't have been upheld, I don't think. And the rest of the race that comes out of it, the rest are gone. So You Win was first up, ran okay. Epic Girl and Love You Lucy, she hasn't come back, and just not much to come out of the race apart from the protest result, really.
Okay, run us through race 8 then. That listed race over 1,000.
Yeah, the winner was big late. Went around at a big price as well. We saw. This is what I sent to subs anyway. We saw Master Jamie and Vega 1 both step out. Now, Master Jamie already has won a ballot free race into the Stradbroke, so I sort of said to the subs with horse like, I think Master Jamie and Vega 1 are the 2 best horses in the race, but both of them will be going to the Stradbroke, so this will be like just a barrier trial for them. So I decided not to bet. There was good reports from the yard on Vega 1, but I thought it was pretty plain, really. I mean, the winners come from the back and ran past everything else. So it's really hard to follow any of these with much confidence now. They're both those horses that I've mentioned there, Master Jamie and Vega 1, are just going to have to be watch and see's next start because they didn't do enough. You got a horse like Flash R who went around at a huge price off a 1,400 metre listed win on a heavy track back to 1,000 and still beating home, Vega 1 and not far off Master Jamie. So, and like I say, Zanaya was out the back, SP'd around $25 and sat back and just rounded them up. So some big question marks out of there, more questions than answers, I think, coming out of that race. Both of those 2 horses would need to make significant improvement second up.
And what did you make of the awful 6-horse field that was the Daybreak Lover? Just margins.
Well, Hang on. Yeah, we backed this winner. We actually were on Apache Chase, and was our largest bet in the race, and we had half a bet on Mass Destruction. They've ran 1-2. Almost a process of elimination. We discussed Got a Kiss on the live stream on Friday. I sent out to the subs, so I think it might be gone. It's ran last, and it's bled from one nostril and gone to the paddock, according to the steward's report. So, Apache Chase is like an Eagle Farm, likes the track, likes that firm Eagle Farm track, and was able to lead and roll along. And Mass Destruction was okay. I don't know whether either of those two can measure up to anything much better in the winter. I mean, that was listed 1,400, but by title only, listed status. That was a terrible race, really, Anyway, you can only win what you're against, so congratulations, everyone.
Yep.
And well done to us for getting something out of it.
Yes, and well done for you to declaring that runner at Toowoomba in race 6, Voulet. $1.10, I think he said it should have been priced, and basically won like $1.10.
We copped $4.20. We copped $4.20.
Oh, what the one before it was even better, Kills. Where it was like I've got this marked $1.25, but I could tell he didn't like the jockey on the stream. So I'm like, is this jockey the worst jockey out of the 5 here? He goes, yeah, she is. I said, all right, let's give her like a -2 or something. He goes, fuck, I'll give her a -5. Give her a -5. $1.70. So it's like $1.80 on the fair. So we start clicking slowly. What did it jump? 240?
Yeah.
Rob was on. We all just had to chase this fucking thing out. 3 of us weren't stopping the price at Toowoomba. It was just, if we weren't on a stream, it probably would have started 280.
It was great. It's a great example of what I talk about, the difficulties in the wagering for the service. Not 30 seconds, not 90 seconds until the jump. It's $1.89, $1.90. So I'm not sending it.
Yeah, we probably have an unspoken $2 rule, really, because that's what we sort of assume people aren't comfortable betting below there.
30 seconds pre-race, it's 2:30 on the fair. Now, if that was 2:30 with 3 minutes to jump, you'd be given subsample time to cop the 2:30 every day of the week.
And then I said, so where should we be in the run? He goes, I think we'll be leading.
And it's last of the fence.
Jumps, no intent, snicks, last fence. And I'm thinking, holy fuck, because I've had way more. I've bet 4 or 5 times on this horse what I'm betting at Cranbourne, 20 minutes later, where I know what I'm talking about. It was like she was on a V12 Harley Davidson versus scooters in Bali. She just cruised out around the outside, got to the straight, looked like it was a big downhill thing, and just let it go. And pissed him. It was glorious.
If it leads, it wins by 12.
Which is maybe why it didn't lead.
Yeah. Anyway, tough one. The other one that was interesting, you mentioned earlier, was on the Saturday, was Traduce and sending each way, because it was $2.50 a hole, which is it can't miss a place. Is what my thought process was there.
Yeah.
It's a real strange one. You probably I didn't have it that much shorter, as far as my price was concerned. I don't know whether I gave it enough for the map. In hindsight, I didn't bonus it enough for the map. But I also didn't expect the race to go out 4.6 lengths quicker than average. And I didn't expect it to finish off, still be able to sit, somewhere near that speed, and then, take off early and put itself in the race and get home, and run the figure that it did. It's run an enormous figure.
Pissed him too. We only caught. It's so badly set up how they space the races, especially when you're at the races. They were into the straight, and I'm going to Peter. I think this is race 4. I reckon this is race 4. He goes, I don't fucking know. I think it's race 4. I'm like, I think we're on the 10. I think we're on the 10. Is that the 10? Is that the 10?
God. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I didn't expect it to do what it did, put it that way. But anyway, we also had Robbie on as well, and you just never know sometimes.
You do never know. Big week ahead for everyone really, because we've got Anzac Day on Sunday. So effectively 2 Metro cards in a row. Dickens, you have Caulfield Saturday, Flemington Sunday, as well as everything else from now until then.
Okay, here's what if you if you're one of the long termers or you're going to purchase this week, this is what you're going to get. I'm literally looking at Chuka right now for today. We will have sets of prices for Geelong, so we might bet. I'll finish them off this afternoon. We have Manio Mail from Bendigo. My prices, Jackson's Mountain Yard Mail. Last time we went there, we know what happened. It was a complete and utter fill-up. Same usual story for Thursday and Friday, where I'll be looking at all the races, pricing a bunch of them, betting where and when we want to. Unlikely to do Mountain Yard Mail at Cranbourne just because it's going to be the big double header on Saturday, Sunday. But you'll get Mountain Yard Mail and bets galore for Caulfield and Flemington, and likely try and find 1 or 2 in the maidens there at Wangaratta and Moe. Often a bit of fat there each and every year because there's 2 big meetings. There's some maidens where 1 or 1.5 horses are capable of winning it.
Tasty. And Curls, you've got Doomben Saturday, 3 listed races. You've got Sunny Coast Sunday, but there's a whole heap of other provincial sets, no doubt, between now and then.
Yeah. The midweek meeting this in Queensland, I think, is at Ipswich on Wednesday. It is Ipswich Wednesday. And then we've got Gatton Friday, which I'll be going to. Mrs. Curley's away for a couple of nights. This weekend the kids are back at school, so it's going to be fresh hell. I might do a bit of day drinking. But Gatton Friday is definitely a goer. And, then we've got, Sunday we're at Bow Desert and the Sunshine Coast. So, anyway.
Exactly.
I need some more, actually.
I got asked about alcohol-free days this morning.
Yeah, well, actually, I was thinking of it this morning because I've... you know how Natoya won on Saturday?
Yeah.
Sydney, I done my best at Natoya impersonation Saturday night. Had a winning day Saturday, so thought I'd get stuck into a bit of champagne.
Oh,
bit
Bubbles.
Of pizza, like Natoya did.
Bubbles and Curly would not be a good mix. What goes up would go up real quick, and what goes up must come down.
Yeah. No, it was good fun. Apparently we're having fireball shots and all. Whatever they are.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Like
so my missus told me anyway this morning, Sunday morning. Anyway, winners win and losers have meetings. I was having parties. You blokes are at home off your losing set, just doing the replay Saturday night.
No, he won. Peter won. I lost.
You're at home watching the Swans get beat by GWS.
Yeah, you know what else happened? Is like I got home and it's an ordeal to take the TV off either of them. But the only time I actually ever do it is to watch the Swans. And then KO wouldn't link to my TV for whatever fucking reason. It was literally like God, whichever one existed, he just wanted to bend me over and...
Yeah, it wasn't your day.
So I had to watch it on the fucking iPad with... I don't know if there's any other fathers out there. This is the worst. This bloke is scary as all hell. Blippy. If you haven't seen Blippy and someone tells you to try it with your kid, the biggest tip of the week, do not start watching it because they get addicted and the bloke is very, very scary. You think the Wiggles are bad? This bloke's on another level. He's a freak. It's not sweet.
Life hack with Jack.
Blippy's not sweet.